All right, everybody, away we go. Welcome to today's call. It is Friday, August the 9th. August the 9th. Holy moly, huh? 2019. And we are rolling along and excited about a lot of things that are happening. Again, just a reminder, please, if you have not signed up for trcliveboston.com, our live workshop event, 2 days in September, 28th and 29th. Gorgeous Boston in the middle of the fall, one block off of the Boston Common, the Public Garden, and all the fabulous places Boston has, and a lockdown with me. For those of you making travel arrangements to do so, I will end Sunday at 4 ET, so all you West Coasters have plenty of time to get home and in bed before midnight. So get signed up, trcliveboston.com. If there are any questions, you can call me directly, and I will deal with your questions. All right, so let's get right after the sales training call here today. Chris Egan was kind enough to send me a couple of recorded calls that his new inside sales agent has recorded and sent me. So I always like those. If you have some of those, you can send them. But also Will Daly has asked me to cover subsequent follow-up because yesterday's mastermind was powerful, talking about the segmentation of lists so that we don't lose track of all these great conversations we're having, because the majority, he said, the majority of the people that you will do business with will need you to follow up with them longer than you think, okay? There is enormous amount of money and success in sales in real estate if you will simply understand how to follow up over the long term. But it breeds the question in telemarketing follow-up, what do you say along the way? And I will deal with how content supports that and how it becomes more very specific to the individual, which becomes an important part of that, okay? So let me open up the microphones because I like to leave them live while we're doing this so you can ask me questions. But remember, please be respectful that we're a big group here on Fridays. And if there is noise in the background, it's better for you to mute yourself than me to mute you in case you have a question. Then I don't have to find you, okay? So let me unmute you here and we'll keep going. All right, everybody just confirming you're hearing me okay? We good?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
All right, awesome. All right, trcliveboston.com, trcliveboston.com. He said one more time, trcliveboston.com. Here we go. All right, Egan and Kayla, you're up first with me, as I just said. So I have two of these. Do you want to? I've got Skeeters and Duncan. Anyone in particular you want me to start with?
Might as well start with Skeeters. Skeeters was from today. Duncan was from a couple of days ago.
Okay. Would you mind just killing or turning that down either way so that we can hear them on this?
Well, there's no humidity today, so
yeah,
we can get away with turning
all right.
it off.
Let's smash it. All right, here we go. So any background here? Are these expired calls we're about to listen to?
Both expired, both out of Vulcan.
Okay. All right, very good. Here we go. Kayla, are you with me too, by the way?
Hello.
Hello, this is Kayla with the Egan Realty Group. And the reason I'm calling you is because I saw your beautiful home that was on the market, and I saw that it didn't sell, and I wanted to send you some free information to help it sell the next time. Would it be okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Are you planning on getting it back on the market soon?
Probably not for another year.
Another year? Okay. Where were you going to go if it had sold, if I can ask?
Well, I don't know, but what I'm wanting is a patio
Okay.
home. But we go to
patio
Florida,
home.
so you know,
Mm-hmm.
we go down and then we stay till spring. So we won't be
Oh,
here.
okay.
I don't want to put the house.
Nice.
Don't want to put the house up when I'm not here. I know everybody says go ahead and do it, but I'd have to come back home if it's sold and packed up and all that, and I don't want to do that. So.
Oh, I understand. I definitely understand. Well, I will go ahead and get this information out to you in the mail, and I will send that to Riverwood Drive. And I'll go ahead and follow back up with you after I send that and see what you're thinking. But yeah, I definitely understand not wanting to come back up for a closing and all that. So, but it's a beautiful home.
Yeah. Okie dokie. That'll be fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.
All right. A really good tone, but some cringy moments there. like I actually haven't in a while, like cringed up like that. Here's why. It was going so fine and so beautifully, and you got the logical, absolutely send it. And then, then it was like you stopped listening. And you were talking over her. You were where were you going? I don't know. But you got what you wanted. Your job is Kayla on with us, Chris, or just you and me?
She said she'd be on. But
okay,
I
Kayla.
don't know. Maybe
Kayla, you out there? Okay, all right. But the point was just so perfectly done, following the yellow brick road, and got the yes, and then just took a hard left over the guardrails, right? Right over. That's why I cringed.
Right.
That's why I cringed. It was.
Don't ask a question.
It was almost
if you're
like
not gonna listen.
It was almost like two roads happening at once, where one was perfectly traveled, perfectly. I mean, there's what a system sounds like, Chris. Right? The first several beats are just so deliciously perfect, and she gets the yes. Okay. Then there was this weird old school pressurized. I'm going to try to muscle my way, and I'm going to just talk right over this lady. And then, Kayla has such a beautiful way, but I said this to her the first time too. She has that nervous, we all have that thing when we're nervous, we do something. Hers is a giggle, and she kind of laughed into it. We've heard that before. I'm trying to remember who else had a giggle when they got nervous too. And it's just, the job is well enough done. I think we're always all trying to do so much more than is there. Hey, wonderful. You mind if, let me just verify the address. Super. Let me get this out to you. I'll get that out to you. Okay. Let me just verify the address. Great. Just out of curiosity, while I have you, where were you trying to go? What was it?
Short,
Maybe
concise.
just something short and sweet, and stop and let her answer. Let her get the whole entire answer out. Let her talk. See where it goes.
Right.
Because now she's also
looking for your opening.
Yeah, she's also revealed that I know everybody tells me I could put it on while I'm away. Well, that was a hint that every other agent is pressuring her to do so. And it's an awesome opportunity to veer in a completely different direction, which was missed. And again, that's experiential. I get that. But you must be concise with a question and then shut up and let somebody just expose what they're thinking. That's the whole provocation of allowing somebody to read their mind out loud for you, right? If you ask one good question, they will do so. So, other than that, it sets it up for this to go out. Wonderful. Let me get this out to you. I'll give you a buzz back to make sure you received it and answer your questions. That's it. All her job, it's sort of like copywriting. I was talking about this in marketing the other day. Copywriting's first line is so you read it second. The second line is so you read the third, and so on. And that's the way that this is. So in other words, the purpose of this call is to get permission to get the package out the door, which she got. And she did really well. Really well. It was just so smooth. She could have made 100 of those calls and gotten 100 yeses. Like Laura, Autumn and I looked at each other and we're just like, duh. Because we always remark that this is so obviously something difficult to say no to. It's a positive. We get so excited every time we hear somebody else do what we do, right? I think that's the key, Chris. So we got excited about it, that it worked so smoothly. So that's what I would tell you is that we just thought that part was great. But it really veered off after that because I think she just got nervous trying to do too much. And that worries me that you trained her to do something other than what she had gotten to at that point. So unfortunately, she's not here because I want to see what her perception of what was she supposed to do after that, because I know you. I know you. And as her manager, I know you. I know that you still have melded into this technique all the old technique of pestering somebody further than that. And you're going to find that that's a problem for the person that you're managing. Is that she went into this other place that I know you have overtrained her on. I can hear it. And because I know you so intimately in your thinking, that I would say I'd question myself if I were you first on what you trained her. Give her permission, and I'm giving it to you, to say, wonderful, awesome, stop. You did a good job right there. Get the package out, book the phone call for follow-up, and find out. go back and tweak it. It's okay to ask another question. Hey, why were you doing this in the first place? Where were you going? Something like that, like she did, was good. Stop, get an answer. Awesome. Well, let me get this out to you. Because again, if you're genuinely attached to this package that's going out the door, then you're genuinely understanding that this is something that, hold on. I see it coming. Laura's coming now too. This is something genuinely that is supposed to help them, because it does. The pictures and details of properties that sold around them, and the 7-step plan, which explains it to them. Go ahead.
My take on that call, like I said, the beginning was good and the interruption was not, but the woman gave her timing another year. So I'm not really sure why there would be a need for a call next week.
Well,
hold on. There's definitely a need for a call next week.
Okay.
Definitely. Let me explain.
To verify that she got the information.
Yes.
100%. And I would never take it that lightly at face value. Never.
Well, she said people were talking to her about selling.
I would never
so
take it at face value.
Changing her mind in 3 months.
100%. I would never. It's a put off. It's a put off. That's you don't know this lady well enough yet to determine that it really is a year, and why. There was enough evidence in her side of that call. And we'll go back and play it again so you hear it.
Yeah, maybe
I don't know. It's subtle. But you bring up an excellent point. I like these debates about this.
Can I bring
hold on. So the point, I think, to you is that what I'm really trying to make sure you hear, because I've been saying this to you, be aggressive, but not like that. That just she steamrolled over that lady's answer. She steamrolled over that lady's opportunity to get it out. And that's not really Kayla's style at all. She's not a steamroller. She's not aggressive. She's really nice.
Well, she's nervous.
No doubt.
And that's what's going on there is Kayla's nervous and she's paying more attention to herself rather than talking with the client in a conversation.
For sure.
My thought was when she said, and I put this in the notes, where were you going to go if the house had sold? And I can't say it exactly the way she said it, but because of the words that she chose to punch to emphasize it, made me think of a homeless shelter. Like, it just wasn't spoken in a way that was concise and more positive. And I gave an example of, I would have said it, were you going to move to another area if the home had sold? And not only am I punching different words, but I'm being a little bit more accommodating. So rather than have her go into deep water because she's nervous, my suggestion is just encouraging her to get that package, confirm the address, and get out of there. Yeah. She can ask those questions on the second call when she's more relaxed and more prepared and they have her information.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Chris?
Right. So from here, she just gets the package out and she follows up within 3 days, right?
Exactly. 100% to see if she got it. Because look to Laura's point too, the technique here, which I think is universally true in every business that's run correctly, is that if I have something of value for you, and this is going to segue nicely into some stuff Will Daly and I were talking about, the idea here is I'm about to send you some information that's super insightful and super important if you're thinking about selling again. And you probably didn't have it from somebody else the first time. So I really want to get this in your hands and have you, see it. I really do. So I think, again, what I noticed is she's not attached to this. And my concern is, and you tell me this, did you tell her to ask other questions after that initial get the package out? What did you tell her?
Yes.
Okay. Of course you did. And what did you tell her? And I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, I need to know. What did you tell her?
Questions along the line of what Autumn was saying. If it's sold, where were you going to head to next?
There's more to it than that. Tell me more. You're backing into what we said. I really want to know what you told her.
You have an email?
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a chat log?
Hey, guys, hang on. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Say again.
So, okay. Yeah.
He's bringing up the chat log so he can verbatim tell you, which would be excellent. Personally, when the person said yes, I'd be like, great. And I would have confirmed the address and hung up and moved on because I want to get more calls and more packages out. But I know there needs to be some questions
Yeah,
asked.
there's a balance in there. I
Right.
mean, you know, if they're
Yeah,
going to talk to
sure.
you, look at, I want the best yes we can get. I mean, this is a really good call to have to deal with today. I now,
Sure.
after all this time of doing this, I want the best yes we can get. So to Laura's point, to come back to this, I don't want the easiest no either.
Well, I think
Right.
the key that's missing is why she's waiting a year.
Correct. And,
So-
and that could have been the question if somebody was listening,
Yeah.
Right.
right?
Instead of the
Because
question that was asked.
Correct.
It might be insulting to her to be like, so you're moving in a year still? Like, yeah, that's what I told you 3 days ago. Like, you weren't listening, obviously.
Right.
All right, let's go back and listen to this. Let's listen to this again. I want you to really listen to this again.
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Hello?
Hello, this is Kayla with the Egan Realty Group. And the reason I'm calling you is because I saw your beautiful home that was on the market. And I saw that it didn't sell. And I wanted to send you some free information to help it sell the next time. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
100.
Are you planning on getting it back on the market soon?
Probably not for another year.
Another year? Okay. Where were you going to go if it had sold, if I can ask?
Well, I don't know, but what I'm wanting is a patio
Okay.
home. But we go to
patio
Florida,
home.
so you know,
Mm-hmm.
we go down and then we stay till spring. So we won't be
Oh,
here.
okay.
And I don't want to put the house.
nice.
Don't want to put the house up when I'm not here. I know everybody says go ahead and do it, but I'd have to come back home if it's sold and packed up and all that, and I don't want to do that. So
Oh, I understand. I definitely understand. Well, I will go ahead and get this information out to you in the mail, and I will
Okay.
send that to Riverwood Drive. And I'll
Correct.
go ahead and follow back up with you after I send that and see what you're thinking. But yeah, I definitely understand.
Not see what you're thinking. Like I'm not going to call you back and see what you're thinking. I'm going to call you back.
Make sure
you receive the package. Period. Like
But she
it's
did
much
give the reason.
it's much simpler. So let's go back and listen to this. We most definitely heard the lady give the reason. She's older. I didn't hear disappointment. I heard confusion.
No, not disappointment.
Yeah.
When she said the word go, where were you going to go?
It stressed her.
It stressed her.
Yeah.
And it was like an insult.
It's a trigger.
Like, oh, yeah, it was a trigger. That's what I'm saying. The word go shouldn't have been in there. It's better to just say, were you going to move out of state?
Yeah, what were your
Where are
plans?
you moving to? What
Yeah,
are your plans?
right, right.
Something up, not where were you going to go?
Yeah, right.
Like, that just conjures
I think she
images.
was trying to be conversational,
Of
but I think
course.
that's the hazard of the wrong words. Even
It's
when
weak
you're trying,
words.
yeah,
It's just weak words, and
yeah.
that's a whole other training, really.
Yeah, where were you moving to? You know, something
Where are you
something
thinking
just.
of going? And then she started saying Florida.
Yeah.
She
Well,
started
it's
saying we go to
it's
Florida.
definitely clear that Florida, is an issue, and you can hear this lady get triggered by pressure
Mhm.
immediately.
And she's so good in the beginning. If you just keep them, you want to keep them
right.
up there like
if she
spinning
kept that
plates.
tone.
Yeah, you want to keep
Oh,
them up.
the
You
book-
never
yeah,
want to
yeah.
get the plate tipping. It's like
Yeah.
when those people used to put plates on sticks. It was
Yeah.
awfully nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But you never want one of those plates to start slowing down. You want to keep them up high
Yeah.
and leave that conversation. That person thinks, wow, Kayla's going to help me.
Yeah, and I'm sending you a lifesaver in the mail. So
Right.
all I'm going to do is call you back to make sure you got it. Okay, Chris,
Exactly.
Chris and Allison, you get that?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's listening on Facebook. We
Okay.
found out. So she's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Oh, that's her fault.
Kayla. I wish you could respond. I don't like to do that when you're not there. We give you a 100
think you're
out of
great.
100 in your opening.
We think
Like
you're
that
great.
was that good. You were really that good. Guys, by the way, you should give her the call-in number so that she can call in here. It was 100. The
Oh.
tone, the pace, the sweetness, the kind, the caring, every quality that we would ever want a telemarketing open to do it the right way. Kayla, that was it. The problem is a little bit of training and experientially. Chris is a very, very high C, black and white, tries to follow everything to the letter, and that's just not, after that beat, that's just not what you can do. without losing that wonderfully uplifting tone. And the reason why the first 4 beats or sentences flow is because they were built out of a conversation that I kept listening to Autumn having, and then we found structure to it. So the next thing is to try to, Kayla, is that you? Did you jump on there just now on the line? I saw a Kentucky line open up.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
That's okay.
all good. Yeah, your line's a little bit squeaky, but like I said, 100 out of 100. We're trying to make you better, so please bear with me when I attack the second half of the call. It's not you, it's the technique and tactic. Yeah, we love you. We've loved you from the first time you spoke, right? So,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So the thing is, we want you to listen. After you get out what you want, and there's that wonderful, sure, I want to send you some free information that'll help you sell it the next time. I don't even know if you need the word free, was my thought.
Yeah,
I think you can just say, I want to send you out some information that will help you sell it the next time is even better. Free can sound salesy, believe it or not, right? Very salesy.
right.
So I'd even try it without, that's the only tweak in the beginning, but I'm still giving you 100, right? Because that's just me thinking deeper. So when you get to that second part of the conversation, I want you to do you. I want you to do you. How would you talk to your best friend who just sprung upon you that they were thinking about moving? Now, I do understand that in conversation like that, you probably say, where are you going? You know, it would be legitimate. But like Autumn says, we are trying to empower somebody, which we just did with beat number 1, which was empower them to help them get what they want, which is this move accomplished, right? So, and so you got up under her beautifully. You lifted her up. Sure, there was this, the pitch of it was high pitch. And then this, where are you going, immediately brought back all the stress of this process and disappointment,
right,
that it didn't work. That's really what, if you analyze this at a micro level, that I believe is what we heard. Her just disappointment, this didn't work. Now all of a sudden this stress has fallen in your lap, which is an opportunity. So that's why I said to you, Laura, now that you hear it again, that's the opportunity to go, ooh, this poor lady. That should trigger in your head.
right.
She also has a misconception that she can't do that while she's in Florida.
No, she can. She doesn't want to. There's a huge difference.
Oh, okay.
She doesn't want to. And she says that in the call. Everybody keeps saying, I can do it when I'm away. I don't want to. I don't want to come back. I'm going to play it again. I'm going to show you guys that if I slow this down, everything that I hear in slow motion anyway, it's all right there for the taking, right? But you have to really be a good listener before anything else. That first beat, introduce the information that can help this lady because we know she has context. Then maybe ask a provocative second question and listen. Because they will read their minds aloud. Watch her do it. Ready? Watch her do this. I'll take you back to the beginning.
Hello.
Hello, this is Kayla with the Egan Realty Group. And the reason I'm calling you is because I saw your beautiful home that was on the market. And I saw that it didn't sell. And I wanted to send you some free information to help it sell the next time. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. Are you planning on getting it back on the market soon?
Probably not for another year.
Another year? Okay. Where were you going to go if it had sold, if I can ask?
Well, I don't know, but what I'm wanting is a patio home. But we go to Florida, so you know, we go down and then we stay till spring, so. We won't be here.
Okay,
I don't want to put the house.
Don't
want to put the house up when I'm not here. I know everybody says go ahead and do it, but I'd have to come back home if it's sold and packed up and all that, and I don't want to do that. So.
Oh, I understand. I definitely understand. Well, I will go ahead and get this information out to you in the mail, and I will send that to Riverwood Drive. And I'll go ahead and follow back up with you after I send that and see what you're thinking.
Okay, so close. Like it's so subtle on these little subtleties that are so close. But this lady, now that we listened to it 3 times in a row, very clearly from the beginning said exactly why she does not want to do it again right now. I am not, first of all, now I'm getting closer to moving to Florida, and I'm not stopping that because we go down till the spring. Oh, really? When do you go down? What month do you usually go down? Right? Between now and then is too close. You can tell she's telling you that. And then she's going away till the spring. And I'm not going to come back and pack up and move again and do all this stuff. She says it aloud. But at that point in time, Kayla, you're trying so hard to get into somewhere with her.
She's just not listening.
That you're not hearing her read her mind aloud so that she gives you everything you need. No problem. Let me just get that information out to you. Hold on, let me get that information out to you, and I'll follow up to make sure you receive it. That's it, because she's already crescendoed up and is positive in that moment. Okay? Very positive. Kayla, you with me? Kayla, your line's a little bit tough. But yeah. So a couple of subtleties going back now that I heard it the third time. I dropped the word free. I don't know that it's helpful in the beginning. Right? I don't think it is. I think that, but yet but it sounds weirdly, the word free sounds salesy. You went from sounding so personalized to salesy with the word free. I'd drop it. Okay. We don't use it, and you don't need it. I'm going to send you some information that will help you sell it the next time, because that's just a statement of fact. This is what's in this package coming to you to help you sell it next time. Right? Now, of course, if somebody asks you, well, what are you sending me? So right immediately you go to what they really would find insightful, which are the pictures and details of properties that sold in your price range when you were on the market. To just state that fact, because that's the most insightful thing that would be interesting to them. You don't even have to get into the whole 7-step booklet and our strategy. You can, but it's much more about being concise about what it is. Specifically like that. Now, when she reads her mind to, here's what's exciting about this for long-term follow-up, okay, is that you have actually created I call it the vacuum, where if she really isn't going to do something till the spring, you get her this package, you follow up now that she gets it, the relationship is deepened because she receives it. Mm-hmm. Your second call is now, hey, it's Kayla again. Remember we talked, and I'm the one that sent you that package of information. Did you receive it? Yes, I did. Wonderful. Did you get a chance to look at the pictures and details of the properties? Did you get a chance to take a look through our 7 steps? Just now you start to talk about what's in her hands, which is the next level of relationship. And she gets a little bit more comfortable with you. And say, hey, I remember last time you were telling me you go to Florida. When do you go down there? Just in a conversational tone, so that you're learning her particular timing without, well, when do you think you might make a move and all that dorky stuff that's generic, right? I'm now in a conversation with a human being saying, when do you go to Florida? What month do you usually go down? Oh, awesome. And you stay till the spring? Is that end of March, early May? I just want to be able to touch base with you when the time is right again, right? And her idea of a year is not really a year.
Right.
It's going away till the spring.
Right.
So now you're able to create a prospect for follow-up, which is what Will Daly's question is to me, which I'll deal with right now. Okay, great. Let's presume that this goes that way, because it will, because you'll pick up the phone and X number of days, call her. Did you get it? Wonderful. Hey, last time we were talking, you were talking about going to Florida. Remember to record that call for us, please. I would love to hear part 2. And so it will, and everybody else who's asking me, what does this sound like as it progresses? Again, we went from no context about us to delivering this context that it professionalizes us to now say, wonderful. What I'd like to do is keep you up to date on what sells around you while you're away. So that at least while you're away, you're up to date that your neighbors are coming on and they're selling and what's happening in the market. So all I need is a good email from you to be able to do that. Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kayla, did you catch that?
Yes.
Okay.
You went away for a moment.
Okay. So here's the deal. You are going to be asking her after that, because the timing's not now. hey, I sent you those pictures and details of properties, but that was just a snapshot. If I can get a good email from you, I'll set it up so that you can get updated as things sell around you while you're away. Got it?
Okay.
Got it?
Got it.
Okay, that's content. Will Daily, this rolls into all those other calls that it's not that the content of the call changes if I'm calling weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly. It doesn't change. That's what I wanted to explain to you. Because what bonds us in that long-term follow-up is now property specifics and the variety of the change in them. Will Daly, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, but I want to just check. Can you hear me?
Yep, got you.
Okay, good. So there was a day when we didn't do that until they were officially a prospect, and as I understood it, Laura would handle that side. So is Autumn handling that piece now, and at what point does she hand off to Laura, or does she?
Yep.
Or is it a hybrid where Autumn and Laura are both doing it?
No.
So, but just to recap,
Yep.
so just to recap,
Sure,
the
go ahead.
weekly, monthly, the bi-weekly, that is all MLS data that's being sent out, and then somebody follows up either with email or phone call or what to say, hey, by the way, we just noticed a house very similar to yours just went for sale. I wanted to make sure you saw it, or that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, let me deal with it. Let me separate. Let me unpack something. The content. Let's go on the assembly line slowly. One is, can I send the stuff? Yes. 2 is, did you get the stuff? Yes. 3 is, hey, can I put you on email so you continue to get the stuff in real time? That has no frequency. That will come through the computer from MLS as it happens in real time. The weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly is the frequency of the call reminder for the telemarketer, not Laura, because now that we have confidence that Autumn is viable, okay, we have moved it back to where it belongs, to her. Because until she can get me in the house, it is on her to get the appointment. That is the telemarketer's job, is to get you to the point of appointments. And she has relationship, and we don't want to break that continuity of relationship. Right. So the key is the physical delivery of the first batch of content is followed by the request to be able, may I now send you via email the updates as they occur live around you as they are most relevant to your house. And now I know you're going away to Florida. I will follow up with you monthly. And when I follow up with you, I will give you my insights about what you have been receiving month to month to month. That's it. There's no more to it than that. Because what you want to be able
Who's
to...
setting up?
Autumn.
I'm sorry. Who's
Autumn.
setting up the MLS
Autumn.
searches on your end?
Autumn. Yeah, Autumn.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Autumn is. Yeah, because again, we want Autumn connected to the information so that when she calls, she's intimately involved. It comes and
Right.
so really so really what it looks like is finally after all these quarterly, which dropped to monthly, which dropped to weekly, now there's an appointment, Danny goes out. Okay. And Danny has
all right, then I want to challenge you on the naming protocol real quick. You guys have prospect met or meeting or whatever, right? Has been met. To me, so it's either it goes lead to prospect to appointment to client, etc. Right? Yeah. So in my mind, once there's an appointment, then on my end, my Laura would take over, or would that continue to be the telemarketer?
Okay, well, I'm going to answer that. That's where I was going. Okay. So now she has all these prospect buckets. A prospect for us is if we picked up the phone and we got something out to you and you said yes to us following up, and then we talked to you. Okay. Okay. Again, you got it. And we make that next offer. Would it be okay to follow up with you long term? We're still going to have them in prospect, but that quick, like you're going to be very short-lived in our prospect world of about a week or so. When you said yes to when we deliver you this package, Are you going to allow us now to follow up with you as a prospect? And our offer is between now and when you're ready to meet with us, we'd like to send you these property updates. That's all Autumn until it comes to me. I have added, as you saw on the list from yesterday and the one I texted you this morning, I've thought to myself, okay, but of those 5 buckets of follow-up, there is that key moment where we meet a prospect, okay? There's one of 2 outcomes at that point in time. One is they say, yes, I'm good to go, list me. That immediately goes to the listing coordinator, client concierge, Laura. Immediately, it's over. Autumn is done. There's no kickback to her. If Autumn gets me out there and it still turns out to be early, this is why we're talking about quality of yeses now for the appointment. If she gets me out there early, I plant a tree in their living room because now they've met me, they've seen the presentation, and they just determined there are things that they need to do to the property, or there are mitigating circumstances. They can't do something with me right away. That goes back to Autumn. But it is a different tag now because that is the hottest of all prospects. We have met them. So they take on a special meaning because we're in deep on 2 steps of personalization of the relationship. I don't know what that will perfectly look like yet, okay? But I know that I want that differentiated. I want to know how many of those people we met with because that's a critical zone. That help?
Yep.
Yeah. And Will, the content change for prospects met is, are we helping them with contractors? Like, are we helping them overcome the issues that they have, or is it just buying time because they can't make a decision? We have one of those that I can think of right now where the guy is sort of debating with his wife back and forth whether they want to do something. First, he's like, nope, we don't want to do something until afterwards. Yep, we want to do something. Can you come over? Up, cancel the appointment. She's not ready. That's life. That's the reality of this business, is that these people are trying to work through whatever they're working through. We just want to be there during that prospect stage, even if we've met them. But I want to be able to look at a list anytime, anywhere. How many people did I take my time to go out and meet, and what's happening to them? Because that's a very, very extremely valuable, couple hours of my time that I'm now trying to maximize to make sure they're the right meetings to go to. So we had to flow this first, and that's exactly why what the call we just listened to from Kayla was so important, because she got the package out the door. Now she just has to follow up and try to make that offer to set it up so that come the spring, she's got a really good prospect who she's been talking to a little bit throughout the winter, telling him what's going on back in Kentucky, right? And so that by the time they come, there's this relationship of 4 or 5 touches plus all this information that's gone, right? That's the key. Any thoughts, Will? Nope, I lose Will. I lose everybody.
No, sorry.
We're still here, Danny.
Okay.
Nope, I think I got it. I do have to bounce, but that cleared
Okay.
up a lot of stuff, and we'll be implementing this week.
Yeah, good. Awesome. Keep me posted, because it's not
All right.
perfect, but we will.
All right, thanks.
We will perfect it.
Yeah. Thanks, Danny. Kayla had to bounce, but she got most of that, and we're gonna go over this again with her later.
All right, hold on.
Have a nice,
Hold on. I'm
talk about
gonna do her second one. Here we go.
This Chris.
Okay.
Hi, Chris. This is Kayla with Egan Realty Group. The reason
Hi, how are
I'm
you?
calling you, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well.
Good. The reason I was calling is I saw that you had a home listed that you pulled off the market. And
Yes.
I just wanted to see if you would like some free information from us in the mail to help you sell it the next time by chance.
Well, I'm happy to get some free information. We actually do
Okay.
have a new realtor that'll be listing the house within a matter of a day or two.
Okay. Well, it never hurts to get a second a second opinion kind of thing. And
Sure.
we kind of like to come in last. So you're about 2 days away from that realtor listing it. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, would you like me to just go ahead and have our broker come and take a look, and instead of even sending that packet, since you're kind of close to getting it listed. Would that be possible?
No, I don't want to really do that. Thank you, though. If you guys
Okay.
want to send some information, that's fine. But other than
Okay,
that,
well, I'll just do that then. Yeah.
all right.
I'll get that out in the mail to you. Thanks, Chris. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yeah, not bad. I mean, we both liked that.
That she asked for the appointment.
She just went for the appointment instead because it was like, that was good instinct.
That was
actually.
very good.
Yeah, I just thought that was good instinct. But is that the older one?
Hey, Danny.
Yeah, hang on. Is that the older one, Chris?
That's the older one.
Okay.
That's the older one. I candidly thought there was an improvement from that one to the Skeeters one today.
I would say so. I'd say it was two different planets.
Yeah.
I think you went from outer space to Earth. Absolutely. That's how quickly sticking to a plan can change the sound of something. She was pausing with these big pregnant pauses that were allowing confusion. I almost even thought he mocked her laugh. I didn't quite get, why he was laughing back. He was almost laughing, at the fact that she was nervously laughing. It was just the whole thing got, sideways fast. But she's still so good with just natural technique and tactic.
But she still wasn't listening.
Yeah. Again, so yeah, but that's.
She heard an
I know.
important point.
She got that point. She got that. We don't want to keep beating her on it. She got it. The key here is to hit the first beat, talk about the package, get a yes, ask a question, and listen. And that will reveal where you go next. I just think, bravo. She's a rookie. Kayla, I think you're back online here. Bravo. You're a rookie. This is experiential stuff that can be fixed. And the improvement from that first call there to the latter call with the lady was excellent. Excellent. That's what I like. Improvement with speed. That's the way we do training. It's hard to hear training. This isn't right or this is cringy, but bravo for sending me recording calls. Any of you that do that, it's just so easy. Remember, we're trying to do this in a quiet, tight environment here where it's protective and I love you and I care about you. Get it right, though. Get it right, right? Mm-hmm. And the second one was very close. All right, Paul, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Oh, I'd love to hear your opinion on this. If someone said, we're listing our property in 2 days, we have an agent, before I even asked for the appointment, my first question would be, have you already signed a listing contract? And if so,
right, when
are you going on the market?
Right.
In case we have a buyer for whom it'll work. What is the duration of that listing contract?
Yeah, I agree. I would hit the beat. In the words that came to my mind were similar to yours. Are you committed to that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're 100%
committed. Are you committed? Are you open to a second opinion before you do?
That was exactly the critique I'd given her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, on the same
no,
page.
but Paul,
thank you.
Paul, that's pro
Very
level.
much like.
Yeah, hang on, Paul. That's pro level stuff by you. It's Chris, myself, anybody that's been around a while. Like we know how to cut to that chase at that moment in time. I got to tell you though, I give her 5 gold stars for the effort to try to get you in. I just thought that was kick ass.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. Absolutely.
I loved it. I mean, that's why I said what Paul is saying is what we all as pros, our instinct says, we'll just ask them if they're already committed, if they're open to a second opinion, because you can get the broker right over if that's a possibility. That's what a pro would say it that way. But a rookie who just dove in and said, can I get the guy over? Was awesome. Super instinct. Yeah, I loved it. I'm a Kayla fan because I just love her twang. We gotta get rid of the nervous laugh, the weak language, and you do that by sticking to a formulaic approach, right? I hate the word script, but those opening 4 lines are. And when she did it, we're only tweaking the word free, and could I do that is not the same as may I, with an emphasis on may I do that. Mm-hmm. So that just now we're down to subtleties with Kayla because she's following the formula.
Yep.
Now the next beat in the formula is to transition and say, after they say yes, hey, how come you were thinking about selling it? Right?
Right.
That's the number one question I want to know in the seller qualifying questionnaire when an appointment's being booked for me is, why are you doing this? Because this is not an easy thing to do. Why were you moving in the first place? Now that I'm sending you this, now that we have a yes to send you the info, why are you doing it? Right? And that just one little question is such a wonderful can opener for Pandora's box for them to read their mind out loud to you. That now reveals a lot. And if you just take a breath back and listen, that's why I'd love Kayla to, get back on some of these calls and hit that first beautiful cadence. Ask, how come you were doing it to begin with? How come you were moving to begin with? Right? And just listen. Just listen. And just really, it's almost painful sometimes to sit back and listen as they go on. But I think especially early on to allow for that. Right? And let's see what the intent is. What I'm telling you, intentionally make yourself a note. Let them read their mind out loud to me. See, we're always provoking, and poking. Instead of just asking one easy question, why are you doing this? Laying back and letting them reveal to you more than you probably ever imagined they would tell you. Right? So there you go. All right. Next. Anybody want to take me in another direction? Outside sales agents on the call today, Andrew, or any of my go-to folks have anything on the outside sales that's a challenge? Or do you want to bring up any of your challenges, Laura, that we've had on the outside recently? Any anecdote that you had to deal with that you overcame?
Hey, Danny.
Andy, I got you, and Paul, I heard you too. Go ahead, Andy.
Just a quick question. Calling leads and run across a voicemail that says, if this is a telemarketer, take me off your list.
Yep.
Do we fall into that bucket?
Do you?
Per se?
Do you want to?
I don't want to fall into that bucket.
Okay, then make a case why you're not one to me. Sell me.
Well, because as opposed to selling a product, I am offering assistance and service.
Guidance isn't even. Guidance is the easiest word. Say, I'm not telemarketing you anything. I just wanted to get you some guidance in the mail. You know what I mean? Or I wanted to give you some guidance. See, the concept is this. See, I say this to Laura all the time, actually in our training a lot. I told her to put some words up. I don't see them yet, but be aggressive. And what I mean by that, it's not like she's not aggressive, but what I mean is, interestingly enough, she said it sort of again today. Well, I heard 12 months. Why would I? That's what I mean by not being aggressive. People ask me all the time about the do not call list. Well, I don't feel like I'm interrupting you in the way that I'm doing something here. I'm trying to get you some free information. You clearly wanted to do something. It clearly didn't want to work. And I'm honestly and clearly telling you, I will give you some information without obligation that will help you. Do you want that? Yes or no? If the answer is no, I'll never call you again.
Right.
Goodbye.
Or
goodbye. I mean, like, it's like, where have we gone? Have we gone into a world that's just completely insane? I get why there is all this pushback against telemarketers, because the barbarian pigs that ruin it for the rest of us honest people, like these robocallers where there's no context. I say this every week. They're just calling you with no context, Andy.
Yeah.
Right? I don't have context to buy insurance today.
Yeah,
I don't have context for, this other crap. I can't even think of the stuff that comes to me. So it pisses me off just like everybody else. So as a consumer, I get upset if somebody calls me with no context that matters to me.
Right.
But when in our business,
you're reaching out to say, hey, you contacted us first by registering on our website.
Or whatever. And that's the thought that I've always explained, but let's go softer and more helpful. I see that you're in there using our site.
There you go.
I'm here to help you, guide you through the use of our site to make sure it's getting you what you want. No, I'm not a telemarketer. I'm the concierge desk calling to see that it's working correctly. You're getting what you want. That's it. In every one of these contexts, you can put yourself in that position. See, it's marketing is about positioning. And we talk about this in the mastermind a lot lately. Where are we all taking a beat to position ourselves as the expert guide? All my mastermind members, and Andy, you can follow suit too as an agent in one of these groups. I always start off, and I was just uploading it painstakingly to all my platforms. Monthly, I give away a market update to whomever will listen for 2 minutes, hoping that there is a positive result from my guidance. Not to get me more business, that will come maybe as a byproduct, but to genuinely and thoroughly offer guidance to my geographies within which I am expert. Hopefully that will help them. If they use their sister who's the realtor, if they don't do anything but they gain insight, I don't care. I want to give it to you, right? And if you don't want it, no problem. Tell me no. Shut off my channel. Don't have any, contact with me. No problem. Because I start off by positioning with this genuine desire to help. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So
Thank you.
yeah, and just one last thought. Don't let the world of insanity and political correctness and all these things they've made us scared to be human, right? Like, I'm not calling you up to rob you. I'm not at your door with a gun. I see you have context. I want to try to get you some help. I don't care about all this other nonsense that the world is pasting around us to try to protect one from the next and the next. It's just insanity. If you are genuinely there to help somebody, position yourself boldly in that way and go forward, right? Anytime anybody asks me, we got one the other day, because she'd be getting a whole bunch of calls. It's the wrong number, whatever. And she gets all mad and sends us this long thing and she has it out. You know what I said? No problem. No problem. That's it. No problem. This is the last time you'll ever hear from us. That's all we needed to know. You didn't need help. Got it?
Got it.
Good question, though, because it came up a couple times today, ironically. You're not the first, you're not the first one today to ask that or to talk about it. Go ahead, Paul. You want to say something? Or I thought he did.
Paul's on another call right now.
Okay, yeah, no sweat. I thought he wanted to say something. All right, give me another scenario here. Did you come up with anything for me? Biggest challenge this week on an outside sales. What comes to mind? What bubbles up, Laura?
Probably our seller, Janice.
Okay, good. So we won't name names, but let's just go into it. What is the challenge in that case?
She's a very high C, and like, I think she works herself up in a tizzy because she's super passionate and emotional, and she gets out of her lane. Like, she just, like, you give her an answer, you satisfy her, and then like 2 hours later she's fretting about the same thing or something new. With that being said, I love her. Like, she's
For sure.
she's awesome.
For sure.
But she's
Keep
can
going.
be exhausting.
Okay.
She can be exhausting.
Okay, so how do you fix it becomes the question.
You dial up your D.
Well,
In some way.
maybe not. Okay, let's take an alternative to that. I would agree with that, is that leading somebody, sometimes when somebody's in a highly emotional state, there's no doubt dialing up D or dominant traits to lead by the nose becomes necessary. Oftentimes when people, and she already trusts us and we're already there. So what we're doing is we're trying to guide these people by the nose because they trust us already. And we know we have that context. However, when somebody goes to an emotional pitch and they're sounding irrational, we have two sides of this pendulum. One is logic, one is emotion. So the technique and tactic is to bring logic back to, in a heavy dose, even if you have to use your D to bring the logic back in, because you have to stop talking. Let me, you know what I mean? If you have to talk to one of your own clients like that, please stop talking over me and humor me. Listen to what I have to say. Okay? You're steamrolling me. I talk to our clients like that all the time when I feel that the kite is all the way out on the string and they're about to snap. Sometimes you're right, you dial up your D to reel that in. But you have to then get to the root of why. Why are you so heightenedly emotional about this? And I did that with her in the field on the buy side because I saw it too. Mm-hmm. And what I found out very quickly and simply was fear of job loss. And when someone has fear of job loss and everything that they do is predicated on that, and it's not the first time this week it happened. I watched it twice, and one was a family member on a refi. When people fear that things could change and they can't get what they want, it is so easy to elevate that fear, that emotion, that they lose all sense of logic. So it's not just the technique of dialing up the D to lead. You must understand the root cause so that when you infuse the logic,
I lost you again, Danny.
up for how long?
Got 30 seconds. Got 30 seconds.
Let me back up. It's extremely important. Listen to me closely now. It's extremely important to go looking for, how come you feel so stressed out? Just asking that and letting them read their minds out loud.
She did that actually when she changed her mind about putting the condo on like a couple weeks ago. And she mentioned to me about the job. But at that time, we were not looking at duplexes with income potential. So I understood her fears. And that's why it was like, okay, let's shift gears. Let's not put your condo on and just look for an investment property. So at that time, like, I felt kind of like, I get what you were saying, like, you're letting the tail wag the dog, but at the same time, I had empathy for her situation.
Correct. However, be careful of your own emotions to be dragged in by theirs, which is extremely easy to do when you are this close to people. You have to, it's going to sound weird to say you have to maintain your professionalism.
Yeah.
Because you get so, especially a past client repeating with his relationship, and you look at, we love what we do, so we empathize, meaning we feel what they're feeling. It comes out of them and into us, and what does it do? It compromises our own logic.
Yeah.
Okay, which happens every day in here, multiple times when you're dealing with multiple people going through it. So what do? You just take a breath and you say, okay, let's just bring this all down for a second. No problem. Just remember, you're in control. We will end up doing whatever you want. But let's go back to, it's zero-based thinking. Let's go back to the beginning. Why were you going to do this in the beginning? Because I'm at a condo and I don't like being told what to do, and I think that there's something funky going on there. Okay? Whatever, there's a cocktail sauce. I'm done. Good. We're back here. You're done. Now, you want to go to these other places, and we came close to doing it, but now you're nervous about that. Why? Well, I got this job thing that's kind of scary. Okay, great. So let's just look at this logically. We still probably can pick up all the equity that you have and make a lateral move to something that you own yourself, not in a condo association. We can make a lateral move to improve your situation. Not just, like we never went back to zero-based thinking. Why did you start this move in the first place? You have to bring them there, you there. It's a reset mentally.
Yeah.
Follow?
Yeah.
And that's what wasn't done. So when I say be aggressive, that's what I mean. Be aggressive in getting yourself out of empathy to the extent that you can bring everybody back to zero-based. Why? And start again. If you go back to zero base and zero base has changed, meaning it's like, Laura, when I said I wanted to go the first time, I didn't like this condo association. But since then, I've become the treasurer. And everything's changed. Follow me?
Yeah.
So you could get back to base camp and find out that something has indeed changed. If you then do that, you did your job.
So basically, I lacked the knowledge or skill to look above the situation versus like
you're in it.
In it.
You're so good at what you do. For 13, almost 14 years, you're so good at being empathetic with people at that prospect level, at that client care manager level, which is really what your description is. Client care, which includes past clients. You're a 10. You can't go higher than your ability there. Problem is, you're that good. Because now, in these other moments where you're responsible to bring logic, the technique I want you to not forget today, bring them and you back to zero base. Why did we start doing this in the first place? Even though we're almost down and we're in the middle of a negotiation, we're staring at net sheets. Everybody's freaking out. Take it easy. We don't have to climb all the way to Mount Everest right now. Let's come back down to base camp. Let's cook a little soup up, get a little fire going. And let's talk about why did we climb all this way so far? What was the reason again? And the minute they get back to that, everything else goes back to, that's right. Greatest line, I'll leave everybody with a funny today, okay? Greatest line that I ever dropped on anybody, which is a combination of zero-based thinking and dialing up my D. I had an elderly gal, Dorothy, and Dorothy was definitely new. She could see time was going on. She couldn't live in this house down the street from her daughter, even though the daughter was there every day taking care of her. They wanted to combine their living situation. But there was another sister, another daughter off Cape. And so as soon as Dorothy was going to combine, right, together with this daughter and buy one house together, the other daughter started bitching. This is the one that never came to the Cape and really did anything, but now she's going to bitch that Mary was going to benefit somehow financially from combining these assets. So she called me up and she said, Danny, I can't do this. They're all doing it. And I said, hello, Dorothy, are you dead yet? Huh? Then we both start cracking up laughing. I said, Dorothy, you do what you wanted to do from day one. This is the daughter that's taking care of you, and you want to move in with her for the remainder of your life. You do it. You're right. Done deal. And she moved in, and they lived happily ever after until the day she got dementia. And everything, getting the chills just saying it. And every day that she had dementia, she was in with these people exactly as she saw it down the road. So if you don't think that moment's important, there's an anecdote to show you that this is critical stuff that we do. Bring them back to why they started to do this in the first place. If it has truly changed and it's beneficial for them to not do it, then you're good. But your job as a guide is to get them through the tough. We tried to go up to the summit today. We got blown back down. Let's just regroup. I'm the guide. Listen to me by the nose. Listen, why did you do this in the first place? That's it. That's the technique and tactic. And so it's not just dial up your D or do these. That's too generic and dangerous for everybody. Whereas you can still use the empathy. All right, calm down. Calm down. Let's go back. Let's go back. Come on. Let's go back. All right. Let's talk about this. Why are we doing this? Just like that. That's what it sounds like to dial up the D and bring them back to zero-based thinking. For all you that have ever done any hiring too, there's a lot of times you get down the road where it's not a good fit with the company. And a lot of people just, Brian Tracy's the one I learned this from. Would you hire that person again? Would they come here again? That's zero-based thinking. If the answer is no, it's over. If the answer is yes, then there's some kind of managed system or something that's wrong, right? So, all right, questions about what I just said? Otherwise, we'll call it a day. Yeah, you good?
Good here. Hey, Danny.
Yep, go ahead.
I know we're wrapping up the call right now, but I guess you're maybe on Tuesday or next Friday, we can get some of my new agents on there to do some role play with you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, yeah. Anytime I know that up front, if you just can wait the 7 days, you can be first in queue. I just need to know that, right?
Cool.
Okay. All right, gang. Listen, everybody, go out and try this stuff. Big takeaway at the end there. Zero-based thinking. Get everybody back, even whether it's on that telemarketing call, face-to-face. Get everybody back to why they're doing this to begin with. It's okay to ask that, right? Mm-hmm. It's an important question here. It's a linchpin. All right, everybody, have a fabulous weekend. Okay, Abe, see you. Donnie, everybody who's waving to me out there. Klebs, see everybody later. Have a profitable weekend. TRC Live,
Thanks,
Boston.com.
Danny. Have a great weekend.
You bet. TRC Live, Boston.com. TRC Live, Boston.com. He said it again. See you later.
Thanks, man.
The conference is now completed.